Okay, I'm glad you said save it, because I've tried, I do well sometimes, but sometimes I don't. I can save the money, but then I keep going back and getting the money. So how do I do that?
It's about deciding what your priorities are. And one of the things is, our philosophy is, you can spend your money however you want. We're not here to tell anyone how to spend their money. It's your money, you should decide how you want. But we might want to talk about what my personal or your personal priorities are. So what are those priorities in terms of maybe short-term priorities, medium-range priorities, and long-range priorities? Now, as you know, I have 4 kids, and they're all in college this year.
Yay!
So, all at once. So
wow.
We can say that that was my short, medium, and long-range goal, was to be able to figure out how that was actually going to happen, how I was going to be able to come up with the money to see them through, because that was my commitment to doing that. Now, that meant that I don't really go and buy coffee, because I would rather send my kids to college than I would have a coffee in the morning. That means I made a decision about maybe I don't go to stores as much to buy clothes, because I would rather spend the money on my kids' education than that. It doesn't mean I never go to the store, but maybe it means I don't go as much as I used to go. Okay. It's about what are my priorities, what are my true priorities, and where and how am I going to make the decision to follow through on them.
Okay, how do you change your mindset, though? Seems to me, we know all this stuff, you know, our parents taught us and they told us and we read about it, but how do you change your mind in the way you look at money? To make all this happen?
Yes, I think it definitely is sort of a shift that has to take place gradually, in a sense that we want to move from being spenders to savers, and then from savers to investors, because that's where we start making really more money. It's not about getting rich. It's really, none of this is about getting rich, because I'm not rich and I don't know too many really rich people. But what it is about is making the most of the money you do have for the things that you actually want. So there is a mantra: what is important to me? What is really, truly important to me? And so I always tell people, start very small. And it might be 50 cents a week, or it might be $25 a month, or $10 a month. And you know what? If you save $10 a month, then you have $120 at the end of the year, not counting interest, before you say boo, and most people don't miss that. You find the level of saving that doesn't hurt at all, and then you move up the rung from there, and then that's how you start changing the mindset.
Okay, so even starting small is, what about saving your change? Every time you get change back, just, because I have we call her Miss Piggy, and I'm trying to get the boys to put their money in her too. She's a big, pretty porcelain pig, a real piggy bank with a tiara and a little tutu on her. She's so cute, so you really do want to put your money in there. It was a gift, and so we call her Miss Piggy. And so we're gonna keep saving our change in Miss Piggy, because she's huge, so we gotta have a big whopping money. And they think I'm gonna share it with, I am gonna share it with them by Christmas time, when we, and she has a little belly button, so we don't have to crack her open or anything. So I wonder if they've been taking money out. Okay, that's another story. Or have I been taking money out? But anyway, the whole thing, and why I wanted you to come on in, let me show you, this book is so pretty. And then you can read this book too, because money is money, and it's not, it's not a sexual thing. It's the same kind of money. You spend the same kind we have. So you can get this book too, and I have an autographed copy, of course. So the book is really good. It's really helped me, but before you can change anything, you really have to change the way you think about it. You gotta throw away some old stuff that you taught yourself or somebody taught you, because we really do need to become savers.
One thing about it is, in the book, we actually have some quizzes, just like the magazines. We have some quizzes you can take to get a sense of where your sort of money mindset has come from, how you were raised with money, whether your family talked about money, whether it was like swept under the carpet, or no one said, oh, well, that's taboo, we can't talk about that. And that that background does impact our attitudes about money today, but whatever happened in the past, however we were raised, none of that makes any difference, because we can make a choice on how we're going to deal with our money from today forward.
And I want to encourage people, when you hear about financial seminars, not the kind to get rich quick, because there's no such thing, unless you Zuckerberg, you know, Facebook guy, but that took time. But go to these workshops and find out, because we have to retrain our minds, and we have to get education to be able to retrain our minds so that we can become wealthy at least. And wealthy, of course, is relative. Whatever it means for you is what it is. But also in this book that she, Linda and Paulette wrote, and I'm sitting here trying to find a really good nugget about finance, and guess what I turned to? Banana nut bread recipe. It's the Lane's Ultra Moist Banana Cake, and I was trying to find a nugget, but I found that nugget for you. So it literally has recipes in here too. So it's like, you get more than just finances in here.
Well, we wanted to pay homage to the strong women in our lives, and Eileen is my mom, and Paulette's mom, and Grandma. They're recipes from our family kitchens, Linda's family kitchen, because we all, and one of the things that we all have bracelets on the chairs for all of you, for everyone, and this bracelet says, "I am a woman who gets it." And the reality is if you live long enough, you know, whether you wanted it or not, whether you sought it or not, we just become strong, and so you use that strength to help retrain yourself.
To retrain yourself. And then there's chapter 5 is called "The Facts, Ma'am, Just the Facts." You know how we like to kid around and say we're going to talk about money, and we really don't ever talk about money. But in this book, they really do get to it, and they know that we got to rule you in. You know, we got to kind of court you first to give you the information that we need you to really save money and to bargain shop. Now, is it a bargain if you know, I have a friend or two who they'll go to 5 different stores to save money, but to me that's like wasting gas. I could just get it all at one store. So is that being a good, conscious financial saver, both ways or not?
I really think that those are individual decisions that people have to make. If you want to sit down, in my life, I would sit down and calculate how much the gas is going to cost me. You can really do the calculations, but that's really an individual decision. I think the main thing is that people have to do what is actually comfortable for them, because otherwise, just like dieting, it's not going to be successful. You have to find the thing that works for you, that you can stick with. And that's why I tell people, we all have always in the past recommended, start small, make it comfortable, and then you can increase. And I have my own son is doing this right now. His 20-year-old savings that he has taken out of his paycheck, every single paycheck, once or twice a month, a certain amount that's going into savings, and now he's going to be able to pay for some of his tuition.
That is so cool. You know how my sons save money? Let me tell you how they save money.
Let me hear it.
This is crazy. I say, can I borrow $5 so I go to the bank? And they say, I don't have any money. So they save money because I believe them. That's they're buying something for them. I'm like, you do have money, because I'm trying to keep up with how much they have, and they try to keep up with how much I have, so none of us know how much money anybody has.
It's all the same pot when it all comes down.
But I know they got money. I know they do. But they'll tell me, and so I guess I've taught them something, don't tell mom you got some money, because mama like to spend money. And the other thing is, I look good on paper. If you look at how much money I have on paper, I look good. But I can't get it.
Well, a lot of us do look good on paper, and that's one of the things. A lot of us don't want to talk about our money because we say, we look good on paper, we should be a lot better off than we are, and what did I do wrong? And so actually the book addresses that as one of the sections, one of the myths about money is, I should have done better, or I did everything right, and why am I in this position? I can't understand what happened, or I don't have enough to make it worthwhile. All of those things are just myths that we tell ourselves so that we don't deal with it.
Just make an excuse. And we do have books we're going to give away. A couple of people are going to get a book, and we're going to figure that out. But I want you to know that we're going to do some financial workshops here via the McNary studio with Brana and Paulette and Linda, because this is so important that we need. Because at the end of the year, when you're doing your taxes, you realize that you had like $100,000 that year, but you think you have nothing to show for it. So we want to help you to save money and to realize that you really do have money, and that'll help you save money. So Brana Pinolis, thank you so much for being my guest. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. As always, think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.